All right, let's start at the beginning. This is the Strength card. So there must be something that just required some strength of mind, strength of soul for you. So this may have been, let's see, the Chariot is on one side, Queen of Wands is on the other. This does feel like it is a personal thing, that this is not a work related. I don't want to take that variable out for those of you that had to muster up some strength to get through the day at your job. But for the most part, this does feel like you've had to have some inner strength. So this might have been some challenges to you physically. Can be on a physical level. This could be health. This could be making some changes in your home, making some changes in your workspace, but it did require you to draw some strength from yourself. If this does stand for a person, that would be a Leo. So there may be a Leo that was a little challenging for you, or will be a little challenging for you for October. What crosses you is the Ace of Cups now. Aces are the hands of God. Cups are emotion. Aces of Cups can be the soulmate card as well. So do you have a Leo soulmate that is testing you a little bit? It does feel like the love space has been a little compromised in the last months or so. It does feel like things are starting to flow. If you are in relationship space, it does usually mean when this card comes up that you've been working on some things within your relationship that might have been a little challenging, and it does feel like you've turned the corner with the Chariot right here. You have turned the corner into the progression and the healing instead of the problem solving. If you are not in relationship, it does feel like you're open and ready to receive that new relationship or releasing a relationship. But this does stand for a soulmate or a love space. So it does feel like you have made a shift in your heart space, whether to open it, close it, improve it. There has been a shift in your heart space, Sagittarius. Judgment card is above you. This does feel like there might have been some challenges in a relationship space, some judgment either coming to you or given from you. It does feel like you have been trying to find your balance within this love space. And for those of you that aren't in a love relationship, it can be the love space for yourself, learning how to love yourself, or just releasing some negative habits or codependencies or anything like that that was standing in your way of a healthy forward motion relationship. So it does feel like you may have to make some decisions. You know, an ultimate judgment is making a decision. So you may have to make some decisions, some final decisions over this Ace of Cups. So it may mean that you are leaving a relationship or that you are going into counseling, but it does feel like some strength and resolve is needed for this change to happen and for this change to flow into the positive, more healing aspect of the work that you've been doing. The Chariot is here. This can mean travel. It usually means finding your balance in something. It can mean forward motion. When the Chariot shows up, it's usually that you've done some type of emotional work. So you're being propelled into a forward motion. This is in the past position, so it does look like all those lessons for the last 5 to 6 months that you have embraced, and you've been able to move some things out, to change some ways of doing things. Can even mean changing your own physical environment, moving from one home to another, painting walls, just making some changes that kind of propel you into the place that you have wanted to be. So it is slow and steady wins the race, Sagittarius. It's not going to happen overnight, but it does feel like you have made some positive progress into making some changes and making your life a little bit more comfortable for you. The Hierophant is here, and usually when the Hierophant shows up, that usually means embracing your highest creative essence. It can stand for a Taurus as well. For the most part, when the Hierophant shows up, that's a very spiritual card. It's getting your answers from within. It can mean going back to church. It can mean embracing meditation, joining some kind of self-help group, maybe even counseling. And for those that do not walk in the religious road, this can be embracing a new technique to find your smile. Just whatever your type of religion is, whatever your worship is. And it can be a tree, you know, if you are not religious, which is fine, no judgment there. But the Hierophant shows up when you are digging in a little deeper, not just the surface things. It's the big picture. So it does look like you've been looking at the big picture of things, taking all the little situations and looking at the big picture. What is the essence of this, and why am I repeating this cycle? So it does look like you have made a conscious effort to really stop some detrimental cycles that have always been with you. So this may be legacy things. This can be behaviors that has been passed down from your parents that you have passed to your children. But it does look like you made a conscious effort to really release the less positive ways of conducting life. So congratulations, Sagittarius, for embracing looking at the deeper things and the bigger things. So it's not just surface anymore. It is a lot deeper for you. The Queen of Wands is here. She usually dictates some kind of motion. If this is a person, wands are fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this can stand for you as well. It is next to the Strength card, which is the Leo card also. So this may stand for a person. But when this Queen of Wands shows up, she's usually asking you to be a little bit more social. Come out of the cave a little bit. But she usually has a position of authority. She's warm. She's honorable. She speaks from the heart. So you may be asked to be in integrity. This does feel like, because it's an authority position, this does feel like you may have to make a difficult decision around work. You know, whether it's using your, you know, you may have to release some people or revamp how things look at work. Reassign, reorg is what I'm picking up, and you may have some input into that, and so some of your decisions may affect other people around work. But it does look like you have the highest good of intentions as you make these decisions, and that you are very aware of the dynamics. So it does feel like there's something at work, some dynamics that need to shift. So it may be having people in a, you know, a position that doesn't work for them, switching positions or releasing someone out of their contract, adding new people. But it does feel like there is a shift happening at work, either a reorganization, a releasing of people, hiring things, but there is some motion and some flow going that requires a little bit of effort and neutrality on your part as well. The Eight of Wands is here. This is one of my favorite cards. It's like when these arrows are shooting down from the heavens. This can be when you have lots of great ideas coming down. And so pick an idea and put some energy in it and see how it goes. But it does look like your plate is kind of filling up with projects and things to do. So those to-do lists might be getting a little full, but for the most part, when the Eight of Wands shows up, that's creative endeavors. That's sharing your wisdom with others, putting things out into the world that have kind of been hovering in the ethers for a while and really manifesting them and putting them forth and putting the action forth so they can be manifest into the earthly plane. So it does look like there are a number of things that you would like to get going. So just pick one to completion. Otherwise, you're going to get a little overwhelmed with all these things. This also can be the workspace too, things getting lined up on your plate. So you may have to delegate some things as well. Just pick one thing that works for you and go along systematically. But it looks like with everything, I know you're a great multitasker, Sagittarius, but this might look like it's a little much if it's all done at once. The Tower is here to remind you to systematically do things as you're supposed to. It is above all of these projects, so it does feel like if you take on too much, that some things may be dropped by the wayside, or you won't be able to complete them, or things will be done hastily and not done to your liking. So it does feel like take things systematically, organize things, prepare things before you jump right in there, because the Tower is lessons through destruction. So if this is something you've already done before, you know the outcome is if you overload yourself, don't do it again. That reminds you to do something differently. Be open to delegating to others and trusting that they can complete things. So it does look like you'll have to do things a little differently and open up these projects for others to contribute to, as well as your own wisdom, that there is a lot of other wisdom out there to help you move these projects along. The Seven of Cups is here. This is kind of a dreamy card. Sometimes it lands here when we're not looking at things as they are. We look at things as we want them to be, kind of a little bit of a denial. This can be the denial card, but it can also mean that you've met and matched all of the things that you wanted to do in life, or all of the things in life that you wanted to do don't satisfy or don't appease. So it's time to redo a bucket list. It's time to open up your dream space to other possibilities. When the Seven shows up and it's right next to the Tower, I would say look at things as they truly are, not as you wish them to be. Don't be in that denial space. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it is a duck. It is not a cat. So be honest with yourself. Be honest with others. It's the only way that we can resolve and move forward and not repeat the lessons over and over again, is to really look at them honestly. It does look like it will require some strength to redo some of this. And it looks like the call for strength is here for you throughout the month of October, Sagittarius. So you may be hitting some pretty important decisions that take some inner strength. The Four of Cups is here. This is kind of like the disappointment card. You may have expected a certain outcome and it did not happen that way. It is above that Seven of Cups, which is kind of the delusional cup. The delusional card too. So maybe your expectations might have been a bit out of line for what the reality was, or maybe not all of the truths or not all of the pieces of the puzzle were presented to you. So ultimately your expectation was this way, and because the reality was that way, it brought some disappointment. So that is the Four of Cups, and that is the present time card right now, or the culmination card. So it does look like don't have too many big expectations of others, just of yourself. Communicate what you need to in order to get the resolve or to get the outcome that you're desiring. On one side of this is the wheel. The wheel can be very lucky. That's when things are spinning, spinning, spinning. It is upside down. So it does look like with this disappointment, things kind of halted to a stop. You have to reevaluate a little bit. Look at the big picture as well to see what your next step will be. So start to gather some more information with no expectations on how it should turn out, and really look at things as they truly are, and then you will be able to fit a resolve with that actuality rather than the desire of what you wanted it to be. The Ace of Wands is here. Aces are hands of God. These are when things are on the karmic path. Wands, as I said, wands are all about motion, so it does feel like you may have the beginnings of something, a beginning of an enterprise, a creative enterprise, a money idea, but something's going to come right out of the heavens. It's usually quick change, you know. It does feel like it's more work related than anything. So you may be getting a promotion. You may be getting, you know, some addition to your budget, something that is a surprise right out of the heavens. And it feels like it is positive and will move you forward. So you may be getting a little help that you've been asking for quite a while, Sagittarius, but it does look like it's going to come right out of the heavens, and kind of a sudden change. Something, an unexpected and sudden change is usually Aces of Wands. And I think it will kind of renew your faith again, because it does look like your faith has been a little bit jarred with this disappointment. Okay, Sagittarius, we have trickery. I'm just going to throw a couple of these cards. They are chakra cards, sorry. Couldn't find the word. Trickery and complacency. So don't be lazy in things, although Sagittarius, that's complacency is not really part of your gig. And trickery, if it feels like jive, it is. It's kind of a continuation of last month, I believe. So there may be some manipulation happening. It does feel more like on the work front than it is on the personal front.